Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The DK Effect. A real-life diary of a madman.
It's time for the DK Effect. Oh, 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 come on. Oh, 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 come on. Oh, 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 oh. It's time for the DK Effect. Oh, 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 come on. Oh, 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 oh.
Well, top of the day, everybody. My name is DK. I'm doing Tai Chi. Add that to my routine. It's supposed to ground you, and it's all about energy and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if I got there yet, but it's excellent balance, which is really good for me. Trying to get walking, distance on my own, and good stretching and good balance. So add Tai Chi. I'll put some articles and maybe some videos up. Just a couple of beginner ones. They're like 10 minutes long for now. Last week, I was talking to you about the books, how I like the audio books, but whatever you read, if you enjoy it or it inspires you, it's excellent. You're only going to get better when you surround yourself with not just positive people. That's a good start, but also successful people. People that have goals, people that meet their goals, people that have a story to tell. And you can do that in two ways. You can have actual people that you know and you work with, coaches, friends, mentors, whatever you want to call them. Or you can find someone in a book or courses like I have with Anthony Robbins and Proctor and Zig Ziglar and so many more, and things I'm interested in, and they're successful at it, so I model what they do. Modeling simply is, I see what they're doing, I see if it works for me, and I go out and I do it. Now, it's all these great comments, by the way, and people reaching out to me and people wanting to come on the show. I think we got enough people coming on telling their stories for about 6 months, but you can still get yours in. Let me know. We'll get you on. But a friend of mine, his name is Peter. We've known each other a long time. We coached hockey together for years and years, became friends. Our sons were very close in age, and I coached his son. He coached mine. They became friends and still are to this day. His wife is my wife's best friend, so, I've got a very small circle, but Peter's in there. But Peter doesn't call very often. I see his wife more than I often see him, and phone rings just as I was getting ready for my morning exercise, and it's Peter. My Lord, people, this guy was so wound up. He started listening to the podcast, and he says to me, "I'm so glad you finally got it." He says, "I want you to grab a pen and a paper." And we'll get back to that in a second, because then he begins to ramble. And I know a lot about Pete. We go to rock and roll concerts together. We like the same music. I mean, we're pretty tight. We know each other pretty good. But he tells me stories I have never heard. How he lost everything and started again, and had a divorce with a negative woman and started again. Got diabetes and healed himself with exercise and a better diet, and what he's doing today and what he's done. So he starts to tell me, he's giving me these books, and a lot of them I already have. So, a similar mindset. And then he starts saying, I heard you mention meditation. So he says, I heard you were getting into meditation, and this guy is the best. I do it in the morning. He does a good nighttime one, all about centering yourself and mindfulness. And he says his name is Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza. So let me first explain that when I meditate, I'm probably, again, very basic. I'm learning all this stuff just like you are if you decide to pick it up. And I just put on like nature sounds or, meditation music, but no one's walking me through. I read, how to center my breath as my point of focus, and then I just kind of go with it, and I find it very relaxing. So, of course, I decide I'm going to listen to this Joe Dispenza. And it's a guided meditation that he does, and he has podcasts. And anyway, when he's talking like me, very gentle, very soft, not too excited, very thorough in what he's explaining. Like, this guy's cool. Awesome. So I do a couple of his meditations, and then I go into a longer one, actually last Sunday. My pillow behind me on the chair, I elevate myself. I get completely relaxed and follow his thing. Well, once you're on the meditation, you got this nice music going, but the guy's voice is completely different. I don't know if he runs it through a computer or what he does, but he sounds like a cross between the Wizard of Oz in the original movie and Saw. I don't know if you know who either of those are, but I'm deep in this meditation. You guys are doing a great job. I'm very, very relaxed. I swear I could almost leave my body at any moment. It's just wonderful experience. And then the guy says, "Get back." Oh, my Lord, folks, if I didn't jump high after that. But he's one to check out. Anyway, just a story for you. It was great talking to Peter and him opening up and having the courage to share all that stuff with me. It was really neat. It's half the battle is when I hear other people not always going through the specifics I'm going through, but they've gone through something, and this is how they're coming back to ground zero. So this one is going to go a little longer because we got Stu coming up in just a second. I just want to tell you, in the next several episodes, we're moving towards a thing that's called the triad. It's ultimate momentum and tremendous action. And please stick around after the interview. I'm going to address something. We're getting a lot of questions. I think a lot of people don't understand states. So we're going to talk about states for a little bit at the end. Anyway, I call this one the bump in the road. Here's part 2 with Stu.
It's time for part 2 of our chat with Stu. We have learned that Stu began his journey overweight and stuck on the couch. In a leap of faith, he made some changes. Couch to 5K, personal bests, and park runs. This week, Stu faces not one, but 2 setbacks. Is this the end of the journey? Or an incredible comeback? So sit back and enjoy part 2 of our conversation with Stu.
Now representing from London, England, representing Team Grandad. It's a conversation with Stu.
Now, forgive me if I'm getting ahead of myself, but one of the things I used to kid you about, and I do it every day now, is you kept texting me, I'm going for a PB. I'm going for a park run. I'm going for a PB. And for those who don't know, personal best. Am I on track here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because I started to do these things called the park run, which is I mean, it's a global thing, I believe. And a lady at work got me. She mentioned it to me, and I said, "Oh, I've never done that." And I really annoyed her because she's been doing them for years. I came into work and I said, "Oh, yeah, I done the park run today, and I done it in however many minutes it was, and it was a PB for me." She sort of still ribs me about it now. Yeah, he done the park run, and he sort of beat her time by quite a lot, you know.
Which again is another victory.
Yeah.
For those people that, sorry to sidetrack, but just while I'm thinking about it, for those people listening and myself, I haven't got there yet. I imagine I could walk a park run, but they're all over the world.
Absolutely, yeah. They're all over the world. Yeah. Every sort of major city and probably a lot of towns as well have got them. You know, I mean, we've got them, dozens of them in London.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up. I imagine you could walk, eh?
Oh, no, yeah, it doesn't, and you don't have to run it.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people pushing a baby in a pram or whatever, yeah, you know, these sort of customised prams that they run with.
Yeah.
I've had one of them overtake me at a park run.
Yeah, it's amazing. Those machines can move. I can.
I've had them overtake me, and then you get people that take 3, 4, 5 times as long as me. You know, and their goal is just to finish it, whether they're walking or running. You know,
and that's okay.
And it's a victory for everyone who crosses that line.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's a victory for everyone that gets out and even attempts it, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So then you did that for a while, and you kept telling me, I've got to. This is my goal. I'm going to do a personal best. And then all of a sudden, I remember you said, okay, I'm not doing these anymore. It's time to move on.
Yeah. I mean, I will do them. I will do them one day. We'll go back to them. But I just like running on my own and getting out there and seeing how far I can go, you know?
Right.
And I mean, I'm not a marathon runner or anything like that, but I've run a half marathon. I run 10 kilometers quite regularly.
See, to me, that's unfathomable at this point. Yeah.
I know. Who would believe that I would be doing such a thing?
Right. I love in the morning when you tell me, it's kind of a lazy day today. I'm just going to do 10K.
Yeah.
like it's nothing. I'm just going to go do 10K today. So it just goes to show the body gets used to it. The brain, the stimulation it gives the brain, and you're addicted to it almost.
Well, I would definitely say I'm probably a fitness addict because of the feeling it gives you. Yeah, like I said, if you could bottle it, and sell it, you'd be a millionaire. But the feeling after you've done something, people think, oh, it makes you tired, you haven't got the energy, but it actually does the reverse. It gives you more energy to do other things.
Oh, I agree.
So even if you are,
I feel the same way. If I don't stretch or exercise, I don't feel as good. I ache.
Yeah, and you've just got to keep doing it every day, really. And something little, it doesn't matter how small it is, but you keep doing it, your body gets used to it, and then you push it a little bit further.
You also got injured along the way. Are we there yet, or is there something before?
No, we're basically there. Yeah. Okay, I started to do like high intensity interval training, like HIIT, things like that.
So high intensity training, because you've got codes for everything. So what does that stand for?
Yeah, so it's HIIT training is high intensity interval training. Yeah, so after I started to feel quite energetic after doing these runs, I started to do some different classes of high intensity interval training, which is HIIT training.
Right.
And that gave me a sort of an extra boost. But then the problem was I ended up I was cycling as well, and I ended up in a cycle crash. I ended up in my first cycle crash, and I ended up with a broken collarbone and probably about 3 broken ribs. So that sort of like put me back. And then also, but not only a broken bone, I then had to have surgery and put a plate in. So all this obviously takes time. They said, oh, it'll be healed in 3 months. 3 months come along. I said, well, why is my bone wobbling about when I move my shoulder?
Right.
And so then I had to go through surgery, and then I had to get over the surgery. So although it did put me back, I got through it. But a lot of people might have given up with it. Then they say, oh, you can't cycle it.
And that's why I find this an important part of the journey is you've made all this progress, and then bang, out of nowhere, you can't do any of this anymore.
With a bit of physio, like I took a few weeks off, and I didn't really take that much time off before I was back out running again, to be honest, and it probably didn't help the healing, and probably one reason why I ended up with a metal plate in my shoulder or in my collarbone. But I didn't let it stop me. But the problem was, so I was off work for quite a few months. Several months, maybe 3 or 4 months. And then I got healed, went out again, started doing my thing again. And then 6 months later, I have another cycle crash.
I remember, yeah.
And again, I've got about another 4 broken ribs this time, and a separated shoulder on the other side.
Stay off the cycle, will you? And just stay on your feet.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone said. Oh, you're not going to still cycle, are you? I said, yeah,
Now, by cycle, was this riding a bike or like a scooter, motorbike?
No, this was cycling. This was just pedaling. Yeah. And the second accident was just I don't know what happened, to be honest. There was no one involved. I lost control over the top. I had a rucksack on my back that was full of stuff. I was actually on my way to a workout when it happened. And, these rucksacks, like the kids' school bags, those sort of things.
Like knapsacks.
I fell off with such force that the strap actually just tore off. Like you could pull one of those straps with your hands and you'd never get it off.
Right.
And this came straight off. So I ended up again.
Is there any point where you said, I quit?
No,
like I this is too much.
No,
I've worked too hard. Now I'm back at ground zero.
No. I've gone too far to quit. So.
Right. Was there anything?
Again, I went for physio, and the physiotherapist they sent me to. I actually got it through work, and I said to her, "Is it okay if I can go swimming and stuff like that?" She said, "No, you can't do anything. You can't do anything." But in actual fact, I was already swimming. I'd already started my recovery.
Right. So in your head, you're like, I'm not starting. Too much work's been into this.
Yeah. And I think my biggest fear was putting on weight again.
So more than any other thing around your health, it was the weight still. The weight. So what we're going to do? The weight was the trigger, the anchor.
The weight. Well, the weight's just a number, but I suppose it's the fat around the
motivator. Like the weight was the. Above all things, it always went back to, I'm not putting this weight back on.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think really it's just the more success you have with doing something, the more you want to do it. Yeah. Right. The more you don't want to quit, and then you start looking for new ways to get like a PB or personal best, or maybe other doors open. You think, oh well, I've never tried rock climbing or whatever it is. Not that I have tried rock climbing, but new doors open, and
you may decide that at a later date.
Well,
right?
Well, it's definitely not out of the question.
Well, I mean, why not? You've talked about triathlons and all kinds of stuff. So I think I know, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you were the one person, and I mean, I've read a lot about this and I put it into practice, but you were accountable to only yourself. You could care less what anybody else said.
Yeah. You can't really. I mean, do you know when you're losing weight and stuff like that, people tell you, "Oh, just stop now. That's enough." And you can't go running 3 times a week. You can only do it twice.
Right.
And sometimes people want you to do that. They want to keep you down.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Because when they see your progress, they look at you and realise how they're not progressing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that happens quite a lot, and so you have to be accountable to yourself and don't really care what other people think, and you just do what you've got to do,
I told you're playing right into my hand.
Just walking to the end of the street or running a half marathon or whatever your goal, it's your goal, and you've got to keep your focus on that goal, really. No, you've got to have the eye of the tiger.
Yeah. Well, the eye of the tiger, I like that.
Yeah, you've definitely got to have the eye of the tiger, and you've got to focus and just keep focusing on what you want, Like I said, if your aim is just to walk up to the end of the street, that's your aim,
Yeah. Yeah, and little goals to get to the big goal.
Yeah. It's all got to start somewhere.
You're healed. Now you're into high gear. New goals, new missions. Take us kind of to where you got to where you are now, because it's kind of exciting.
Well, where am I now? I'm pretty much healed. The second shoulder, actually, the surgery failed, and I had basically a polyester ligament put into my shoulder that came off the hook. Basically, it was meant to be sort of holding up my shoulder. That came off the hook, and they said I could have the surgery again. And the pain I went through, I just couldn't. I couldn't go through. I couldn't go through the pain again, like in the recovery, and the time out. And it's like 3 months out, and I just don't want to do that. So I battled through that, and I've strengthened my shoulder, and I can do anything that anyone else can do, really.
Yeah.
With both my shoulders now.
Everything the DK Effect all in one place. www.thedkeffect.ca. All our social media links. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. A library of articles that go into detail on subjects covered on the show, and other articles including mental health, personal growth, fitness, and success stories. An easy way to contact us with questions or if you want to share your story on the show. Yep, all of that in one place to assist you on your life journey. It all starts with taking the first step at www.thedkeffect.ca.
Back over to you, DK. 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 Back over to you, DK.
Okay, welcome back. So there you heard that, Stu in the first interview started at nothing, worked his way, was doing very, very well. Had a couple of what I would consider major roadblocks off the beaten path for weeks, and then picking back up and deciding he's not only going to get back, but he's going to go further. So the last piece of our interview with Stu will be next week. So stay tuned for that one. All right. I told you I wanted to talk for a brief time about state. I've now had a few messages. I just don't get what you're talking about, or I don't know how to get there. How do I achieve this magic power? It's not a magic power. It's one of the most basic things that we'll learn on this journey, and it's used in almost every, lesson or topic, whatever you want to call it, base. And in its easiest form, it's almost like your mood. But it's not just your mind, not just your conscious mind. It's also training your unconscious mind. And it's also your physiology, your body, your posture, your body movements, your level of excitement or positivity. So, sounds complicated? It isn't. There's several ways to anchor yourself and get into a state. And I can't get into all of them now. I'll put up an article, but I thought we should touch base on it. So you're feeling down, a little depressed. You feel like giving up if you're doing, an exercise or a project, and you want to pull yourself back and snap right out of that and into a positive state. You can do it by visualizing a happy memory or a photograph or a color. I use my walker's blue, so when I ordered a cane, it is also blue. The color blue is an anchor. That was another exercise I did. So I want you to try something with me, if you will. Again, maybe this one's a little silly, but it's simple, and it's about reprogramming your state fast and easily. So I guess I want you to stand if you're able, not if you're driving, do this later. Or if you can't stand, I know where you're at. I've been there. You can do this sitting down. But I want you to, it could be anything you want to do. I want to start running. I want to learn to cook, yada, yada, yada. There's a million things. Only you know what your new story is. So I want you to slouch your shoulders, put your arms down in between your legs or at your side. Put your head down. I don't feel like doing this. There's no way I can complete this. Maybe I'll try again later. People say I won't be able to do it, and they're probably right. It's not worth it. But I'll try another time, I'm sure. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to put your shoulders back, hold your head up high, take a deep breath. You can move your arms or whatever you want to do, or you can stand still, but you're in a good posture, a posture of action. And all I want you to do now is listen to me. I can do it. I believe I can overcome anything that I put my mind to. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this now. I'm ready. I'm charged. I'm motivated. I'm full of energy, and I'm full of power from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. How do you feel now? I dare you to go back to the down and out. And if you do, you repeat the last part again. Feel better, don't you? That's what a state is. And it can become deeper, and it can become more powerful. And there's all these other techniques, and I'll try and squeeze some more in, but I'll definitely get an article up on the webpage. Anyway, folks, we went really long this week, and I apologize, but I said to the team, I said 30 minutes. That's my limit, and I hope we didn't go over that. But if we did, we did. We had things to talk about. So get out there, get moving, don't wait. Today is the start date if you haven't started yet. If not, just keep going. Be kind to people and be kind to yourself, most importantly. And have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm DK.
Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up. Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up. Never, never, never look back. Never, never, never look back. Keep going and don't give up.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.